Thank you, past me, for that lovely introduction of what we're doing today. Welcome to Super CoatPockets Battle Extreme, a RPG I made and released in 2009. I want to LP this because it's silly, and I want to take a look at what I've done in the past and think about it, and show it off, and that sort of thing. So, yeah, released in 2009. Worked on for a lot of years before that because it was on and off. And I think it's still got some good ideas, but it's also got some really silly and or stupid things, so yeah. Whoa, where am I? It may seem kinda obvious, but I have a feeling I should walk up and talk to people. So, as any good RPG should be, it's a self-insert video game because everyone loves those, right? But, uh, yeah. Self-insert. At least I'm not, like, super useful in this game. I'm definitely not overpowered. Anyway, this is the tutorial area, and I think I added in that message about talking to people later because someone just skipped through the tutorial and didn't know what they were doing. Hello there! Welcome to Super CoatPockets Battle Extreme! It's an RPG. Yes, it is. In SCPBE, there are 7 types, which equipment, skills, moves, and enemies are all assigned to. Basically, these are elements and elemental weaknesses. They work like this. Power beats defense, beats speed, beats power. Strategy beats support, mirror beats itself, and omnipotent beats all other types. I don't think these types are very actually noticeable in any way, ever, so that's a problem. There are 6 characters to choose from. They don't mention the several unlockable ones, each of whom have 6 skills which they can use in battle. You can switch them at any time. Shagg has to be the leader because reasons. Each of the characters has 1 weapon. They can also equip special things as a second weapon. Everyone has dual wield, basically. The main point is to defeat all the boss monsters in each lobby. Once you clear a lobby, you can move on to the next one. There are also some dungeon-like areas which you may need to pass through. I heard there's an optional deep dungeon as well, with some cool stuff to find in it. As you progress, you'll acquire certain items which let you warp to areas you've cleared. You can use them from your inventory. I think between us, we've covered everything you need to know. Except, you can hold shift to dash. In the case of this controller, it's the A button, I believe. So, I added this to make sure you go to the character select screen, featuring music from Final Fantasy Tactics, and tutorial stuff. They say you shouldn't go to the deep dungeon immediately, but you can pretty much go to the deep dungeon immediately. So, Super CoatPockets Battle Extreme. CoatPockets is the name of an AOL Instant Messenger chat room that I used to be in, which is just me and my friends. Most of these people you won't even recognize. You'll probably recognize me. You'll probably recognize Kit. Could you get me out of here? I can't get any sun power while standing in this cave. I think Kit wrote that line himself. You might recognize Kit. I'll just stand here then. Because he still shows up on, like, current streams and stuff done by Pink and whatnot. And you might recognize Ian, my brother, who looks nothing like this. Phooey. But you won't know who these other 3 people are. First, we have Noisy. who also looks nothing like this, is someone I haven't spoken to in a long time, and they live in Canada. That's basically it. Yep. This is Vuli, or perhaps Vuli, or something. Another person that I haven't spoken to much in a long time. Though I did speak to them sort of recently, and they seem to be doing okay, so that's good. And this is Tren, another person I haven't spoken to in a really long time. And I have no idea what she's up to these days. So, yeah. Most of these people, you're probably like, well, this was made too long ago for like Stan, Chompy, Pink, the Arc, the usual sort of people you see with me nowadays. Nowhere in sight. Brougham is in here somewhere, but we'll get to him later. Anyway, let's see. The important thing is that Noisy's the healer. Trin is really good and has a mechanic that I actually like. Still. And, I don't know, Vuli, why not? Let's use the people that you don't recognize, unless you're one of them, secretly watching my video. This lady over here is Aura, one of Kit's characters, and she sells skill crystals, which teach people skills. You know what, why not immediately buy one? And because RPG Maker VX had an obnoxious lack of the skill book mechanic from 2003, it gives you a roundabout menu to teach it. So here's the deep dungeon. The game says don't go in here immediately, but I'm doing it anyway, because that makes sense. Signs like these are hints. Sometimes you need a hint sign, sometimes you don't. Thank you, hint sign. This is a very simple puzzle, and also a fight. So, the graphics in this game are all over the place. These particular graphics were made in Spore, of all things. So, yeah, that's kind of silly, isn't it? Video game character version of Shagg is not entirely that useful, but is sometimes useful. I still think it's a little clever to have a slime enemy called Petroleum Jelly that spreads itself around to heal. Like, that's kind of funny. Good job, past me. So each character has different skills, and Shagg is probably offensive in the UK or somewhere, because they use the word spaz several times. Or is it just spastic that's offensive? I don't know, but apologies. My skill set in this game is sort of general okay kinda stuff. It's not that great. Then we have Noisy, who alludes to various video games. I don't remember if Refresh is actually an allusion to anything, or if it's just like, hey, you can restore MP. But we've got like Magic Missile, which is common in video games, Silent Hill, Super Metroid, you know, Final Fantasy, DDR. And Trent has various computery hacky things, which I don't entirely understand. And Vuli does puzzle games. So yeah. None of the other characters. Kit has like sun power, as he mentioned. Ian does architecture attacks. Yep. And sometimes enemies try to confuse themselves but fail apparently. I'm not entirely sure how much I'm going to have to say about my own old RPG, but I'm gonna try and find something. Originally, the victory music was not from Chrono Cross, and was instead just sort of the Liberty Bell March, being quiet and kind of out of place. Also, important to note that level ups don't really mean anything in this game. They give you very small stat bonuses. Can you find the real way down? Alright, now this puzzle is stupid. In each of these directions, there's a staircase. And I think they lead to... Yeah, you get a treasure. Yay, a treasure. But the real solution is to talk to the signpost again, and then it turns into a staircase. Obviously. I mean, like, who wouldn't think of that? Right? Right? No, it's dumb. 1, 2, 1, 2, see? First the ones and then the twos, going left to right. That means you flip this one, and get into a random encounter. Hello, Herbisaur. So yeah, I made a bunch of the enemy graphics in Spore by just making a creature in Spore, and then it had a convenient like black background with which to crop the enemies out of. It was kind of silly. But hey, I guess it was one way to make enemy graphics. You'll probably also note that a lot of the sound effects are from Earthbound. And it said smash when I got a critical hit earlier. There's a lot of Earthbound in this game. And the weird backgrounds, I guess, are kinda Earthboundy, but that's just how RPG Maker VX did battle backgrounds. It takes the area around you and makes it all swirly. So, first the ones and then the twos means 1, 2, 1, 2, and yeah, hooray. Oh, I forgot you got a Phoenix Crystal. Why not? Also, I might as well equip this defense blocker thing. I don't even remember how the types work again already. Yep. Pretty good at my own game. And now the twos. If you flip the wrong one, you get a fight. You get a fight here anyway. Because this is a mimic, or a not real, as I decided to call it for some reason. That's kind of silly. Does that work on these? I don't know. Not reals use garbage blocks like Vuli does, because I don't know. I guess it doesn't. Look at all these standard RPG Maker animations. That one was slightly bluer than usual, though. I forgot that this thing used flare also, because that makes sense. Hooray! Four-leaf clover is a revival item. By the way, the portrait art here was all done by Rome. I asked Rome to do far too many things for failed RPG ventures, and I still feel bad about it to this day. There's another thing to feel bad about regarding Rome in this game much later, but I'll get to that. Might as well use a speed boost on the person who's stuck in the party. One chest is a switch. Not many contain good things. Advice to you, save. Yeah, this is a room where you just get blown up a lot if you open the wrong thing. It's in one of the corners, I think. Oh, that's an attack booster. That's an explosion. Forgot that there was an attack booster. And now there's random encounters in the middle of this, like a jellyfish, for example, which shoots lasers. And apparently I can't get away from it. That might be because it's supposed to be a boss fight, like, sort of, in an actual dungeon elsewhere. But that's just silly. It's not a very good boss fight. Also, you can't use refresh outside of battle, because that would be silly. And there's the switch. And now we have a mysterious seeming room, which has a pendant that warps you to it, which is awfully suspicious. But first, let's go to the lobby, where we can introduce what you're supposed to be doing. There's also events. There's little cutscenes scattered about. What are you waiting for? It's time to get going. Don't you think we should be more careful? We have no information. We have no plans. We have no idea what's going on. My role in this game is to be cautious. That's my entire personality. Who needs a plan? We'll work it out as we go. That's the way of the true adventurer. My role in this game is to be not cautious. Jump. What's the matter? Scared? Yes. Okay, sure. So, we can introduce you to the main purpose of the game, is these lobbies. That leads to a boss fight, and once you beat that boss fight, it opens up another boss fight, which is like right there, or maybe over here. One of those. And the game's basic premise all the way from the start was, hey, what if there was an RPG about boss battles? And it's okay in that regard. Anyway, here's some other characters that are based on people I haven't talked to forever. Lindsay, one of Yuli's friends, who smokes. Yup. She runs the inn in this case. None of these people have personalities anything like their actual personalities. And Mandy, one of Trin's friends, I haven't talked to her in a long time either. But I'm sure she's fine. She runs the shop. You can buy stuff. Amazing. I think these attack items just exist to exist and are not at all useful because they're attack items, but you know, I could be wrong. Maybe they're actually good. And while we're here, you can examine this. Secretly. What is this? Wind? And a mysterious sealed piece. That's important for something later. Hoorah. Now let's go back to the deep dungeon, which isn't actually that deep at all. The chest resonates with powerful energy. So there's a boss fight here. So instead of doing whatever I'm supposed to be doing, I guess this is the first actual boss fight that I'm fighting. Trin is really good in this game. And the Guardian is using her attacks against her. And everyone else, for that matter. There are several of these powerful chests with a Guardian enemy inside of them, and they all behave a little bit differently. But none of them are like super difficult. Also, it's worth trying status effects on everything in this game, because in general, a lot of them work, like, more often than you would expect them to. Trin is like the huge damage dealer, though, definitely. And Noisy's the healer, which is important because healing's important. Let's see if poison works. No. Bleeding? No. Maybe early on, these bosses don't actually, like, care about status effects. That could be the case, I don't know. I think it's weird, like, retrospectively, that's not a word, is it? That Noisy doesn't have a single target heal of any sort. Just, like, a multi-target one. And that's it. She also doesn't have a single target revive, only a multi-target one. And now here's the fun part with Trin, is that she can temporarily, well, I mean, assuming you revive her afterwards, die and then restore MP, which I think is actually a cool mechanic. So I don't know why I cast refresh if I use that. But yeah, look, everyone's MP is back. And I won. Hooray! Trin didn't level up because she was dead. And we get a lampshade to put on our head. This game is weird. It halves damage from omnipotent attacks. I feel like if I made something like this again, there would be a single target heal. And a single target revive on the healer character. There's a switch on the grave! Hooray! Can't examine those. Hello. Goodbye. This is a looping room, by the way. And that's a polar crystal. Which helpfully teaches one person polar, but what the heck does that do, you might ask? It makes them enraged, because of reasons. Seems too simple, right? Dead people know how to live, don't make it too late. What on earth does that even mean? That means if you tried to enter the staircase when there were bones in front of it, they would be enemies that would kill you. Getting hit doesn't hurt you, it just sends you back here. The sign maker was tired of haikus. Yes, all of the signs were haikus up to this point. Let's demonstrate. Bonk. So this is like timing. This is actually kind of cool too, I think. So there's bits of this game here and there that I don't actually mind. And there's some money. Money is lint because CoatPockets and pocket lint. And it's a good joke. Now wait for everything to line up. It's important to know the sprint button. Here's some more spore creatures. I'm not gonna fight them. The problem with timing-based segments is you have to wait for everything to line up. I don't know why this guy jumps around. Bang film it, eh? Bonk! Yes, even fire bonks you. mechanical hound's head fashioned into a helmet. The mechanical hound is a different boss that we haven't fought yet because we're doing the game in the wrong order. Might as well. And you can have that. I meant to give that to you. Because you're a support type, so you're weak to strategy, which is the one thing that I remember. Not that I even know if anything uses that type of attack anywhere. Hitboxes for things like this are a little bit weird, by the way. Oh, whoops. There's another thing right here. No. Why would you default to yes past me? That's so rude. Pull the switches and the way will open for you, but beware hamsters. This must be based on another boss fight. So you have to pull all these switches, but they'll all release the things in the cage. So you gotta do it in a good order. Also, there's like a giraffe thing, I guess, that just murdered me. Holy crap. I didn't want that to happen. Why can't I get away? This is not a good thing. Fine, I guess I'll fight it. Jeez. Well, I guess I probably will die then. What? Why is this thing invincible? Okay. Well, there's a you just lost the game joke and a Lavos noise for you.
Super CoatPockets
2009, everybody. Now I'm back here. So, join me next time when I'm not back here. This will be an interesting journey.